Hi, everybody. Let me know if this is working. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I changed my glasses. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. My speedy confirmation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So this is a Q&A. If you don't know me, that's okay. You're still welcome to watch. And if you want, post a question for me. I am an energy healer, reader, and teacher. For context, I guess, it's 2020. I've been doing pro full-time work since fall of 2001. So, yeah. So coming on the 20-year anniversary, probably it's right around now. I think if I'm doing my math right. So, anyway, oh, and please don't expect pro people to do free work. Like part of that hater comment that I got the other day was like, how dare you talk about Trump and how dare you talk about money and charging people money. That's the silliest thing ever. But a lot of people, they'll throw that at pro people, like, how dare you charge money, or you're just thinking about money, like that you're some butterfly that just lives on air and rainwater. I have to pay rent and mortgage and food and vet bills just like everybody else. So. But this Q&A is free of charge, of course. If you want to tip me on my website, that's possible. But it's just that at this point in my career, I have a little bit of time and energy to do a Q&A like this. But please don't judge any professional for charging what they charge. I mean, maybe some people charge exorbitant rates, but whatever. Please just don't do that whole thing of because you're spiritual, you should be doing it for free. Because it's just so irrational. But anyway, okay, enough. So somebody says, hey, Janet, I've noticed that even with meditation, I've been feeling run down towards the end of my work week lately. Is there something I can be doing to prevent this? Yeah, I mean, I think that's always an interesting thing, really, for everybody to look at. Like, if you have a work week and you have time where, those days tend to be more run down, write that question in your journal. Why am I more run down by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? And then just look at it. Like, what's different about you? Or use your intuition if you don't have vision yet. But what's different about your grounding on Monday than it is on Friday? What's different about your back of your aura on Monday than it is on Friday? The back of your chakras, the flow out the back of your chakras. What's different about that on Monday versus on Friday? What's different about, for some people, they have aura damage by Friday and Thursday because they're not repairing their aura all week. That's not the case in this questioner, but it's more of like the back of your chakras and the back of your grounding that just gets blocked up, and you seem to have a blind spot about it. But I think if you compare Monday to Friday, Monday's aura to Friday's aura, the back of Monday's chakras to the back of Friday's chakras, I think it's easier to see the difference. And I think that's a great thing for anybody to look at, and even you can look at it in a more micro level. What about my workday is depleting to me, because there are ways that you can change things, if you just observe, like, how can I make my workday less depleting? I mean, because people always think, well, I'll just get a different job, but I mean, come on, let's think today though, how can I make my workday tomorrow less depleting? The right answer is not always, quit, quit by tomorrow, So I think it's a good thing to look at, like, what, by noon, by halfway through my workday, if noon is halfway through, but whatever, by halfway through your workday, what does your grounding look like versus when you start? What do the back of your chakras look like versus when you start? Is there some way that, like, maybe reading emails is overly depleting for you? Maybe like each email you read, you get more dumped on and more triggered. And so you need to kind of watch the, maybe do a little timer and only do 10 minutes of email, and then the timer goes off, and then you have to ground and reground and just wash all that out of your space. There could be patterns that you're in that are overly depleting, and if you look at a more micro level, even more than just Monday versus Friday, but break it down into the nature of your work and what you do, and you can pinpoint things that are more depleting and figure out how you have to redesign your work so it's less that way. So hope that helps. Someone says, thank you for these wonderful Q&A sessions. You're very welcome. This is Diane N. Can you tell me how my mom and aunt are doing? Yes, who also got the healing. Yeah, I was looking at them in the healing. They needed a little bit of extra time, which they got. I gave it to them. Everybody got extra time. But they needed extra time melting the oppression residue out of their chakras. But they actually were really good. See, because this healing, I actually, thanks to people's surveys, I did notice that some people, that crust on the outer edge of their aura, it was just too much. So, you didn't fill out your survey on Friday, but other people did. And so I noticed it from their surveys, like, oh yeah, her dad, still has some outer crust to melt that, that limited him from getting even more out of the first healing, so that was the one thing that helped them the most, actually, was what I did towards the very beginning, just melt that crust, help them to melt their built up crust of gunk, blocked energy around the outside of their aura. But yeah, they rocked it. I mean, they still have a very, like, sort of energetically, they still sort of like are they sort of have this observer. They're very into the observer of their life. Like some people don't observe, they're always doing, and so they don't have that self-reflective. But your mom and your aunt, like on a soul level, they're kind of a little overly passive, like that young, active, redirecting, take charge part is a little too asleep. So if you have the finances, I would say it would be nice for them to do a series of triplet set healings. If you don't have the finances, then you could just keep checking in with them and, remind them to work with their angels, and that will do it just maybe a little slower than if you just get them a whole series of triplet sets over time. I think if they get another triplet set, then you could do healing master classes. They would benefit from those. If they get 2 triplet sets, then they would be unstuck enough that a healing master class would be also really beneficial if you felt like there was a theme that kind of jumped out at you for them. After maybe 3 triplet sets, no, after 4 triplet sets, just because the healing is so new to them, they're kind of, they have a little ways to go as far as just, being large and in charge in their energy field. So, but after, like, it depends on how fast they clear. It could be after 3 triplet sets, then a healing masterclass is just as powerful for them as a triplet set. Because a healing masterclass is really powerful, even though it's just 1 healing. But for some people that are just so stagnant, it's not quite enough. It's not quite as much as like the 3 healings, in 5 days. But then, once people get like a couple triplet sets, then the healing masterclass is just as awakening in just 1 healing. It's really wild. So anyway, hope that helps. So yeah, they did fine. They did really well, considering, this is their first energy healing, maybe in a long time. Anyway, someone says, I love melting facades, which is something we did in today's healing and also on Friday. Zen is back. She says, hi, everybody. Okay, I always love melting facades and felt very light and relaxed. Is there anything I could do further? Any angel messages? FYI, I have participated with my sister living in a different country. Yeah. Well, that could be interesting. Just your sister, what helped her the most? The creative ring stuff, because it helps with confidence. The facades helped her, but not as much as the creative ring stuff. The creative ring stuff is very awakening for her. It's like, oh, I could see her spirit sort of sitting up straighter, The brain stuff. was also very awakening for her. So that's nice. For you, just extra, so just work the video. Your angels are like, work that video, work that video. That there was a part, I think it was around an hour and 13 minutes into it, where it was right after we did all the chakra and energy channel work. We did just a little bit. Well, it wasn't really a little bit. It was like a 9-minute section. Around roughly an hour and 13 minutes into it, we did grounding again, and then we released shame and guilt and embarrassment, and I told my little silly story. Redo that a bunch of times. That idea of just melting away shame, guilt, and embarrassment from this life and past lives out of your energy field, your grounding, and everywhere. I would say focus a little extra on that. But all of today's healing, you could definitely just rock. It's very relevant. Someone says feedback on how I'm doing. Yeah, but we already did your mom, so I'm going to move on. Sorry, honey. Gotta get everybody in. Someone says, in a previous session, you mentioned the concept of being a lighthouse and attracting the type of people who want a healer like me. Does that also attract haters who resent that? Guy at work seems mad. Haters are attracted to whatever they hate no matter what. So even if you're a big fake, haters could be attracted to you for a different reason. Maybe that, if you're fake, it weakens your energy field. So maybe they're looking for somebody to bully. So you'd get those types attracted to you. So yeah, haters are it doesn't attract more haters to you. Maybe a different type of hater, sure, but not a more scary type of hater. Just maybe, yeah, different type. Like me as a healer, I'll get people who, I mean, I don't get a lot of hate now. I think, if you resist it, you get it. If you're afraid of it, you get it more. Like I said, I used to get a lot more YouTube comments, hating on me than I do now, which is ironic because I get much more views on YouTube now. So you'd think I would get, that same percentage of hate, but I don't. So I think it's just, it's part of your spirit's learning, everybody's spirit's learning to, to just not resist. People have opinions and you're not here to be what people want you to be. You're here to be you. So, if they're upset at you being you, then, sad day for them. Boo-hoo. Yeah, so guy at work seems mad. Sure, but he was mad in his last past life too, so, oh well. You can have your angels make a big gold wall in between you and that guy. You can also, one thing you could do is you can look at, any beings he has that particularly send him in your direction. Because sometimes I'll get that, I'll get some client who, is not super balanced maybe, and they'll get all ragey at me, but it's not really them, it's their beings that are just looking to make trouble, like maybe looking to drive a wedge between them and their healer so they can't, progress as fast or, whatever little games going on. But a lot of times conflict is fueled by beings, even within a partnership, partners could have beings in their space that just want to rob them of the one person that doesn't judge them, And so you could just imagine that person and then just line up separately away from that person. So you're not doing anything to that person, but you just imagine the beings that are like stoking conflict between you and that person, and just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? Because they're just invasive beings that are, causing harm. So that's interesting. You could keep doing that. Whenever you're around imbalanced people, that's potential that they could just have beings sending them into various people's way just to create conflict. So you can have those beings recycled by your angels. Someone says, fear clear, thank you. But now not sure what to do. Second time I'm so behind in coursework, I might have to withdraw. I need course for a job. Is this my authentic path or me failing to be myself? Good question. It is funny though, right? When you get the fear out of the way, you're like, yeah, still not doing it. At least then you're closer to clarity though, and self-knowledge and self-awareness. But it is odd, not to be freaking out when you're like really behind about something. Like it can be new territory to be like, I am not scared at all. But yeah, there is a little audio recording on my website, which I think you probably did use years ago. Other people may not know it's there. On my website, there's a free meditations menu. I want to say this one is on page 3 of 3 because it was always free. It's called Project Unstuck, and it helps you to get moving on a project. It basically just walks you through energy clearing the blocks that are in the way of you doing that project. Yeah, no, I don't think it's your higher self not wanting you to complete the class or wanting you to put it off until next year or anything like that. I think your angels and your higher self and you really want you to do it. I just think there are blocks in your way. And normally there are blocks in your way and a shit ton of panic and shame and fear and embarrassment. But now there's no shame and embarrassment and fear, but still there are energy blocks you need to clear. So it feels like new ground for you because you're like, whoa, I'm still not doing it, but I'm not terrified and I'm not ashamed. Yeah, it just means there are energy blocks in the way of your productivity. So it's good. I mean, I know that seems odd that that's progress, but it is progress. But yeah, it shouldn't be so hard now to clear the energy blocks because all the other stuff is not in the way. So you're actually way more present about it, which is why you're so weirded out by it because you're like, I'm really not doing it, but I'm really here. So yeah, Project Unstuck could be it. Or even blanket exercise would be fine. That video, if anyone else searches Janet Wright blanket exercise, you'll find it. But yeah, just clear the blocks in your way. Maybe turn your Kundalini on a little bit. Kundalini is that little chakra beneath your first chakra. You can imagine turning it on, making a red little fiery energy of Kundalini coming up your spine just a little bit. So you're like, gotta do it now. You can think of your inner motivators, those little parts of you. We healed that in a recent triplet set, but you can imagine, the parts of you that are supposed to be like cheerleaders, making you want to do it. And they're you. It's not like your beings or your angels or anything, but those parts of you, just imagine your inner motivators. And, one of them is like confused. One of them is grumpy. One of them would rather have summer again. So just, like heal those 3 inner motivator parts of you. I find that I need at least 3 inner motivator parts of me to be really gung-ho before I'll actually do something, before I'll, do a significant project. So yeah, I would say inner motivators and then just clear energy blocks. But that Project Unstuck MP3 audio recording from my website is nice if you want. All right, hope that helps. If it doesn't help enough, I would say try it for a while. If you're still stuck, you can post under this video again and we'll look at it again. After the past 2 healings, do you have any specific advice for me? Any angel messages? You're moving forward on your path, but you keep going to the side, which usually represents doing things the hard way. Like if you imagine just the road that's just for you, and ideally you would go right up the center line because it's just for you. So the center line is sort of smooth and easy, so it's more efficient. But you're going up the side Your mom is kind of like in your face. Uh, you could do that video resolve conflict and boundary issues with her. Um, or just say, hey, mom, I'm okay, I'm safe, you know, go have a good day. I love you, I'm safe, I promise, and then just make sure you have your angels carry her away or something. Uh, but yeah, I think it's just your mom jumps in your space so much that, she could be freaked out because of coronavirus, or maybe like the holidays are approaching and you guys can't all gather around because of coronavirus or something. She got some kind of, I don't think it's like Trump having coronavirus, it's just in general. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's your mom. But other than that, I mean, without her, you look smoking. I mean, you look fine. You look like you're getting really present. You're getting more in your first chakra too. So that's kind of new for you. So if you're feeling fears more, if you're more aware consciously of fear or nervousness, that's just because you're down there more. You're in your first chakra more. So maybe just think about being your legs more. There's a video I have called Earth Energy Up Legs, which is like 11 minutes, and I'm describing, how you can imagine red earth energy coming up your legs into your first chakra. That could be a nice thing for you to work. So just search Janet Wright earth energy up legs and you'll find it. Um, so yeah, that's what your angels suggest. Someone says it's working. Oh yeah. Um, Hi Janet, sorry for the character limit, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, you're fine. Someone says, hi Janet, I am aware when I get wax, mostly feels like a pinch on my head. Yeah, like a stab on your head maybe. And I've been noticing my lower back gets blocked. I felt as though it might be my father or a being. Can you tell me? Well, I would say think about the back of your grounding is really, because it's like everything's interrelated. And I think that by the time you feel tension back here, you have an issue in the back of your grounding, and your grounding is pulled in. People can, like, I think with you, someone's throwing hard energy like in the back of your grounding, and so that cuts off like the whole back half of it. So just imagine so I think it's really an issue with the back of your grounding, basically. Bottom line, that then becomes an issue up here. But I would think not so much about who, but just here, like, don't just think, why am I losing the back part of my grounding? You have these spear things that are just sitting there. You did not get the healing today, by the way, as far as I know, unless you have a different name in reality. But if you are that person, then you didn't get this healing or the last healing. So just do more of that back of the grounding stuff. Do indie grounding too, because your grounding is connecting to people that you know too much right now. So just lots of gold light around the outside of your grounding surface of it, so it doesn't, and then there are hard objects stuck in it, so lift them out, give them to your angels, so that you have a lot of really good flow downward. I think a lot is going right. It's just that the back of your aura, the back of your grounding is a problem, and then it becomes a problem here. I mean, you could then like maybe manually unblock the back of 321 better, because like one side of 321 in the back is blocked up. But I don't think it's beings. You seem to be pretty good at clearing those out. It's just energy blocks. I mean, maybe other times, but right now it's not energy blocks. I mean, it's just energy blocks. It's not beings, and it's not your dad. It's just blocked up energy and a blocked up grounding, and hard objects stuck in the back of your grounding. So good job overall. Keep up the good work. Someone says, hi, thanks for the healing. Oops. Hi, thanks for the healing. What is my number one reason for blocking or being blocked or receiving? Well, thanks for saying your name. That does super help. Super help. And the thing that you needed that, and And thank you for your survey. That helped a lot. The survey you filled out. What we did towards the beginning of today's healing, where you cleared the, I think it was about, the intro in today's healing was so long that this part of the healing wasn't, it was about 52 minutes into it. But technically it wasn't that far into the healing itself. But anyway, we melted the crust around the edge of the aura, the hard crust that can build up. And that, you really needed that. Like, a lot of people needed it, but then some people really needed it, and you were in the really needed it category. So, and that does get in the way of receiving healing energy from your angels, receiving and more from these group healings, So I would say keep redoing that, just because it's like when you heal what's healthy and gentle to clear today. So we melted like about half of your crust, since you were in that really needed it category. So you could do that more. Just keep melting that crust on the outside of your aura. You can imagine it like a, kind of like burnt bread or something, like a black or something around the outside of your aura. Just keep melting that. So I would say that would be an easy, good place. Your grounding works well since the Friday healing. On earlier this week, your grounding kept getting narrow, so that was a big problem. But since Friday, a couple times since Friday, your grounding would get narrow, and then you all of a sudden feel really exhausted and tired, but it's just your grounding got narrow. Because since Friday, you haven't had significant aura damage or any kind of damage. It's just your grounding. Every once in a while, it just goes, and then all of a sudden nothing releases, and you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. So keep widening your grounding again and again. Remake it. Make sure it's nice and wide and flowing all around. And then the crust on the outside of your aura, you can just keep working at those two things. That would be good. So good job, and thank you so much for your survey. Please fill out another one tomorrow from the link that I'll be sending tonight. Someone says, got through latest surgery and wondering what's up next for me. Can you check to see how I'm doing? Any angel directions? Your angels are throwing a lot of flowers, like just sort of like relax, congratulate yourself. You got through a big, huge energy shift, sort of a life milestone. They threw a party for you last night on the astral, and they say like the next 5 days on the astral, they're just gonna pretty much pamper you, healings and parties. But not like human parties with alcohol and like terrible self-punishing things. Angel parties, which are just fun and innocent and cool. So, but yeah, they don't think you need a massive redirection at this moment. They just feel like you need levity and rest and just some validation about how far you've come and the shifts that you've been through, and that you're a survivor, and that you're, that you are a success. You are your own success. So yeah, they're mostly just like sort of lifting your spirits. So maybe some heart chakra work would be nice, like enthusiasm flowers, that kind of thing. Just to validate, help uplift you. But if you have some fun music or something, to kind of keep things lighter and more celebratory. Seems like that's what your angels want. Someone says, hi, Janet. I like to have heaven friends, but when they are at your home, how can we show them respectfully boundaries and have them visit the outdoors rather than the indoors? Thank you. I would say let your angels manage it. Because, like, for example, you have a heaven friend. For other people that don't know, it's my term for someone that's in heaven. And, maybe it's a friend of yours from a past life, or in this case, you're your house or your apartment building or whatever could have a person that, you know, is in heaven now, but they have a sentimental feeling about your building because maybe they bought that house as their first home and they raised their children in it, and, you know, they spent, you know, 20 good years with their wife in it, you know, or something, you know, some like positive loving memory of that specific building or that location. And so sometimes those people, they like to just come and say hi and make sure everything's okay with the property. Not that they want to micromanage you, but they just want good things to happen there. You know, they want to bless the place and stuff like that. So um, usually angels are very much in favor of it, you know, because it's a very loving and kind and watchful energy, but watchful in a good way, you know, that you have now like a bigger divine team than you had before, you know. So like I told this person, but I, you know, I had a where we rented, the last place we rented in Chicago, this woman was had a sentimental sort of connection with the building where we rented, and she always used to wave at me from the top floor, and she was as sweet as punch. And she she just, I guess she had bought that building at one point, and you know, she loved it a lot, and so it was a really positive thing. So anyway, what I would say is just let your angels manage it, and it could be that some of your wariness has to do with other things, like you're afraid of beings, and so therefore you're mixing up the two, and, you know, whatever. And so just let your angels manage it. Like, for example, you have a heaven friend who's a mom of yours from a past life, and you have great vibes with her, you know, like just a great friendship with her. And so she shows up sometimes when you cook, and you and she on a subconscious level have a really relaxed, loving rapport. And so, you know, obviously you don't want to ban her from visiting, you know, when you cook. So heaven friends are very respectful. They're not going to be in your aura. They're not going to be in your face, you know. And I mean, you're referencing a specific thing where your husband is actually attacking one of these people because he doesn't understand the situation. So yeah, I would just, you know, have your angels manage when is an appropriate visiting time or not, and then your angels will let the person visit, you know, wherever the angels feel is necessary or helpful for you. You know, because obviously it's your property now, but you know, like I have this guy, I call him Soldier Boy, and the place that we rented right before we bought this, so it was in Washington State. We rented a house, and we had the whole house to ourselves. We rented this 3-bedroom house, and he I knew him just as a spirit, you know, but later I found out literally who he was. Like, I found out more factual information, which normally I don't ever find out, you know. So that was interesting. The people that owned the house that we rented from, they raised their family in that house, and one of their several kids had crossed over due to military injuries, and he was in the war, I guess Iraq or whatever, and he was such a sweetheart, and he would just show up to make sure the place was safe, you know. And he was doing it out of love for his parents who still owned the place, and you know, and he was fine. And I, you know, he had such a strong presence though, and he wasn't used to somebody like me who could really sense him, you know. So I had to tell him, you know, hey, sometimes you're kind of scaring me a little because you have so much energy, you know, maybe just, you know, like say hi first, you know, don't just like materialize in front of my window, you know. So, but, you know, I think you can, you know, develop a rapport with these people and explain, you know, and, you know, they're not enemies, you know. And so we let them come here now too. Soldier Boy will just kind of check out the place for us, and, you know, I'm sure if anybody tried to do anything to any of our stuff, like not only the angels would mess with them, but Soldier Boy would would be in their face. So it's, you know, I don't think it's a problem, but you can work it out with your angels. Interesting, cool stuff. Someone says, thanks for this. How can one protect their crown chakra, seventh chakra, in the top of the head, and creative rings, stronger boundaries? How can you protect them? Basically, a specific person to stop tapping into your energy at any time they feel like it. I've gotten headaches as well as sudden interruptions in my creative process, and I also feel intense lower back energy like a boulder when about to take action. Okay, yeah. So your aura is the missing piece, I think, that you're not clicking with. So your aura is supposed to protect all of that. Okay, so if your aura were whole and strong enough, the cord might be possible, but like a tiny cord, as opposed to like this giant tree trunk thing that is possible now because your whole aura is all ripped up, and actually you have several chakras damaged in the back. The back of your chakras are damaged. So you have aura damage and chakra damage, and so that's why it's pretty easy for somebody who's, you know, got a little bit of a beef with you to throw energy at you and make quite a dramatic impact on you. You know, if your aura was strong, if you had super buffers, your gold energy aura buffer zones, you know, a big gold force field right here, and your aura was whole and all your chakras were repaired, and you did magnetic alignment of your chakras, it would just make everything so much stronger. And so that person, then you could work on fine-tuning, like helping them to get a little more balanced, so then they just don't take their rage out on you, at least on a spirit level, which is where the attacks come from. It's a subconscious spirit level. So, but first things first, just get yourself safer, a lot safer. So you could do today's healing video. I don't know if you're subscribed to my channel and you would get it right away. If you don't get it right away, you could email me, janet@janetwrightreadings.com, and I'll email you the link today, or I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter today. After this live stream, I'll post today's video links on Facebook and Twitter. Just because YouTube doesn't post this link right away, they wait a whole day before they post it on my channel. So, but anyway, yeah, the reason I think today's video would be good is because it has everything that I'm talking about. But Friday's video has most of everything I'm talking about too. So that's how you protect yourself, is you keep everything else shipshape. You know, your super buffers and now gold energy aura buffer zones. Actually, that would be a standalone video that you could start with, to be honest. So Janet Wright, if you search Janet Wright gold energy aura buffers, that would be good enough. Janet Wright gold energy aura buffers. Buffers is the keyword, and that'll bring up that video. It's an 18-minute video. I have my hair's dyed and I'm outside, and I'm teaching you how to repair your aura and to make the buffer zones. And then if you just make 100 times more gold in those, just with your intention, then that's what I call now super buffers. So that's the start, right? And then I like today's video the best for chakra repair and chakra and energy channel repair. And then, you know, we can see after you do all that. So first thing is aura repair. Okay. Hope that helps. Aura repair, which would be learned from that video, Janet Wright Gold Energy Aura Buffers, which is a 18-minute video. Okay. Yeah, I know. It gets tiring when you're targeted. I've been targeted lots. But now, you know, these techniques really do work. It's just you got to get good at them, you know, and it's a little bit of a journey. That's why I was just talking to somebody yesterday about that in an email. It's like you can get so weary, it's hard to even heal yourself because it's like you've been attacked so much, you're so weak and dispirited and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, hopefully the 18-minute video is not too long and it's not too big of a job for you. You could half listen to it while you eat breakfast or lunch or something, or, you know, while you're on a walk, if that helps make it more doable. Also, all my group healings, they're designed to be empowering. They're designed to help you to get more whole, so then you're more motivated to heal yourself. So you could, you know, do my group healings if you want, receive them, pay for them. They're not that expensive, but they're not available yet. The December ones are available starting October 15th. On October 15th, and they'll sell out within just a few days on my website. But you don't have to wait for that. You know, you can start using videos now. You can do all the work yourself for free. You don't have to get healings from me. It's just that the healings from me help you like feel a lot less overwhelmed, because we do all that repair work. So then you're like, okay, all right, let me learn this, you know. but you know, yeah. So energy self-defense, which starts with aura repair, is the thing. There must be more questions. There are. There we go. Okay. Haya, at the end of the healing, you said that someone was in my space, your space, which is why I wasn't able to focus. Was it a person I know or being trying to distract me? Yeah, a person. Angel messages is get the person out of your space. Yeah, it's just it's like a blue energy. It's just sitting right there. It's somebody you know. Just kick them out. Just say, hey, talk to your angels. There, you're kicking them out right now. There you go. See, that wasn't so hard. I mean, today's healing really worked for you. I would say keep working on that crust, the outer crust, that I was telling that other lady about. It was roughly about 52 minutes into today's healing, melting the crust on the outside of the aura. You don't really need a walkthrough of it. It's so simple. You just imagine the crust all the way around the outside of your aura and just start melting it more. But the healing did melt it a bunch, but there's more you can do over the next couple days. But I mean, you did receive a lot of the healing, but maybe 30% of the healing energy gets blocked by that crust that you have now. And of course the facades. Yeah, that's always good to melt because it helps you with self-knowledge. Work more on the facades, melting facades. Someone says, hello, would you be able to see why I've been isolated by friends community lately? Thank you. If I had your first name and your last initial, that would slightly help, but this is good enough. You know what I would work is your path, your spiritual path. It just seems kind of shut down. Like it just is like stormy raininess, and it's just like this blah kind of uninspiring energy in front of you. So I think that would help the most, because then if you're on a roll, then you can just you're more innovative as far as creating pleasant experiences for yourself. So I would say I have a video of Janet Wright, clear punishment own path, and that would be a good one to work to just kind of brighten up your path and get your momentum back. And then also Janet Wright, enthusiasm flowers would be good too. Enthusiasm flowers are energy healing flowers you make for your heart chakra, which helps generate motivation and self-love and self-esteem and enthusiasm. So I think that would help too. So I think it's more of like an internal kind of compression thing that has happened and that has isolated you. But so work your path with that first video, clear punishment own path, and then work your heart chakra with that second video, enthusiasm flowers. That's what I would say. Angelic guidance. Well, I just read a lot for you, so I'm gonna pass on that. You say, when is the soonest date for a possible private session? Your page says September 15th was the last date for a possible session. October. Yeah, my website's a little hard to understand probably about my individual sessions. It's probably just because they're hard to get. I don't want to say you can get an individual session. Come on, It's easier at this point to get the group healings, and the group healings are crazy effective, and most people don't realize that because they're so inexpensive. So people assume they're like trash because they're cheap. They're cheap because I want good karma. They're not cheap because they're not worth a lot, So try to adjust your mind, because usually, modern marketing is like, oh, the expensive things are the good things. So it's not that way here. But anyway, um, private sessions are very challenging to get from me. In part because a lot of people want them, but in part because it's not my focus anymore. Like, my primary focus is to do group healings and heal many people at once, like with the most kick-ass pro techniques possible. Because then it teaches because then I can live stream and it teaches so many people, and everyone learns empowering techniques, and it's like really cool. I used to do only individual work for many, many years, and of course, many lifetimes. I mean, I've done group work in other lifetimes too, but anyway, so I have a raffle system now where it would take months probably to get a session. But if you can be patient, I had someone who was really hounding me recently about, okay, I asked to be on the raffle. Am I in the raffle yet? Am I on the raffle list? When's it gonna happen? Oh, forget it. If you can be patient and just chill out and work on your healing in the meantime, and maybe if you want, get a lot of group healings in the meantime, just so you get your energy right. And think of like an individual session as sort of like a nice extra. Then that's good. Otherwise, look for somebody else who specializes in individual sessions, which is most everybody else. But anyway, I do have a raffle system. You just have to email me and say, please put me on your raffle. And then each month on the 16th, I have the angels pick names. And then by the 17th, I email everybody either way. Everybody who's on the raffle list, I'll email everyone either a yes or a no for if they got picked for that month that the angels are picking for, which in this case would be the December Inspire sessions. The angels will pick names for that on the 17th, 16th, and then I'll get back to people on the 17th. So if you email me before then you'd be on that raffle list, and I would email you results either way. And the default is that if you get a no, which obviously most people on the list get a no, then you stay on the list for future months. You don't have to keep asking all the time. You're still on the list, and then you get notified each month if it's a yes or a no. And I mean, just a heads up, most people that get picked have been on the raffle list for several months, for 1 month at least, or 2 months, or 3 months. So it's definitely not something that you want to hold your breath for. If you're going to get the most value possible from working with me, it would be, really take these group healings seriously, learn, because that's where all the good stuff, I mean, there's so many techniques I'm teaching that are like hardcore pro techniques in these group healings. So, there are some people that all they want are individual sessions and they want them very regularly, and I'm not the person for that. So hope that all makes sense. And my email address is janet@janetmarkreadings.com, which is janetmarkreadings.com is the name of this YouTube channel, and it's also the name of my website, which is why I'm saying it so fast and not spelling it. Okay. Someone says, "Hi, Janet. Can I ask, how are my daughters who are receiving the triple healings as well?" Younger one had to go to, she was funny. I said hi to her this morning, and she always has this way of saying hi to me. For others, she's, a teenager. So I said hi to her, and she's like, "Hi," and that's like a warm greeting. So anyway, younger one had to go to ER on Monday for stomach pain of unknown origin. She's okay now, but I want to check how they both are. Yeah, I would say, give her a little GV-CV healing extra. Like, heal yours first, ground yourself first, heal your GV, heal your CV, and then heal her GV and CV. And I know you're like, "Janet, I have so much to do right now. I can't do that." But you're a mom. You're going to feel so much better if you just sit your ass down and do it for like 5 minutes. If you can't do it, you could say, "Angels, please heal my daughter's meridians," and they'll know which ones. But even if you just do like a 4-minute version, you're going to feel so much better, like 2 minutes on your grounding, 1 minute on your GV and CV. They're just tubes that go up, the midline of your body, just red tubes, so you heal your red tubes, repair your red tubes, and then say hi to your daughter on the spirit level, imagine her red tubes and heal her red, say, angels, don't let me mess this up, and then just heal your daughter's red tubes, particularly the front one that goes up the front. It starts in the crotch and it goes up and ends at the tip of the tongue, the CV meridian, conception vessel meridian, which is traditional Chinese medicine. Oh, someone says, thank you, you're welcome. Nice heart. And I get lots of blue birds. That's adorable. Thank you, Miss Janet. You are generating good karma for sure. Yeah, it's funny. So many people like overlook the group healings because they're like, oh, it's for a group, whatever. It's like, okay, girl. It's sad. A lot of people don't realize, but they're just thinking in that sort of shallow marketing way. They're not like listening to their heart and being like, do these things really have value? They're just assuming because it's a low price tag and it's for many people. But, whatever. Someone says, thank you. I can understand that. Okay, good. Someone says, hi, Janet. Struggling with fatigue, which is making it difficult to get through my important to-dos, but feeling good overall, chakra-wise. Wonder if you have feedback tips from my angels. Yes. And I know you, but if you had put your first name, last initial, it would slightly help. But I know you, like I know, and I can see your life. It's just the name. I'm used to knowing names when I read, and it's not coming to my mind. But anyway, I can read it. Oh, okay. No, I still don't know your name, but I know you. All right. There are about 3 women that you have taught professionally, like coached. And they look up to you and, I think they follow you on Facebook or something. And I don't think they know each other, but they're draining your energy. Like they're all like sort of behind you, behind your aura, and they're cording a lot of your chakras and they just drain you. So I think that's actually what's going on. It's not, your third is a little shut down and blocked. So you could specifically imagine your third chakra. Good color for your third chakra is yellow. You could even make your grounding yellow to kind of, pep it up. Hey, let's do the third chakra, but open it up. It's sort of at that vibe of like, I want to take a nap, but it's that way every day, all day now, which is not good. But I think part of it is just so much energy is getting drained out of pretty much all your chakras in the back. So I think, sometimes when you have a profession that other people consider inspiring, it can become invasive and unhealthy. Like these people will be like, oh, I look forward to your Facebook post, or I look forward to, whatever you're going to put out. And, I said to this one woman, because I heal her daughter, her adult daughter gets like all the triplets. And I forget how I put, but it was kind of like, you have to lead people to empowerment. You have to you have to hold your ground to make it an empowering situation for the people that you want to help. Because there are many people that's not their default, is to be helped and inspired in an empowering and clean way. They will try to crawl in your aura and make you their mommy, and they're recreating the love that they wanted when they were 2 years old, you have to hold your ground. You have to just stand your ground, even if you're, say an artist and you create beautiful work or whatever, you're a healer or whatever, you still have to really, hold those boundaries, because even if consciously they're thinking, well, sure, I want empowerment. There's a big part of their spirit that's just like, I want to be too and be loved, and have everything be okay, and you can make it happen, they just crawl in your aura every day, So I would just say, awaken that part of you that's gonna hold your ground, because it's not by default empowering. When you're teaching or when people are seeing your social media posts, there are plenty of people that will try to turn that into a codependent thing. So you can still keep being encouraging or whatever you're doing, but just you got to really own your space and police the back of your chakras a little more and be a little bit more of that, not so much the lovey, inspiring part of you. Like, that's great, but add to it the part of you that's really gonna protect yourself, and be like, hey, no, go talk to your angels, go talk to your angels, go talk to your angels. Just tell them all, talk to their angels, melt all the cords, take it back. So I hope that helps. And specific healing on your third would be nice, particularly in the back. All right, hope that helps. Someone says, I really like your new ocean painting. It emanates very relaxing energy. Great choice. Thank you. Yeah, I like it too. Someone gives me a butterfly and a heart as a thank you. Well, good. Thank you so much. Someone says, do you know my friend? He says he knows you. That name does not jump out at me, no. So, I mean, yeah, you can email me if you have a specific question, but yeah, that name doesn't jump out at me. Particularly that last name does not click for me. But, I've worked with thousands of people over the years, so it could be that I have worked with him and I just don't remember his name. So, feel free to email me if you have concerns at all. That's fine. Janet at janetwrightreadings.com. Someone says LOL about my kid. Thank you. I love working with people's kids. I mean, to be honest, I very mindfully chose not to have kids in this life. Both me and my husband, we did think about it for a while, but I decided not. But I do like working with other people's kids. It's like, as glad as I am that I don't have my own kids, I'm also glad to work with other people's kids. It's a good thing. And that's part of why I chose not to have kids, is because I figured, well, everybody else's kids need help, and all the adults need help from what they did or didn't receive when they were kids. So I'm gonna have my hands full helping people. So yeah, but it's fun. It's fun to help people's kids. All right. Hey Janet, regarding YouTube posting videos, I can see it the same day if I search the title on my phone or on my computer. If you click on uploads, it populates past live streams right away. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't click for me as far as understanding where you're going with that. Because I think people that don't subscribe to me, you subscribe to me. So I think it's different for people that, and I mean, why don't they put it just on I don't like that. But anyway, okay, I know you're trying to explain something to me, but the meaning of it's not clicking. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you though. Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for all your work, which I love. I didn't get the healing this time, but do you have any feedback from my angels on the most urgent issue I should focus on? Thank you. And I don't see more questions, by the way. I'm about to answer that one, but I don't see others. So I could do like 2 or 3 more if somebody posted another one. I don't want to go forever, but I could do like a couple more if people wanted to post. I would try to answer them. Okay. So I'm looking at this one. Well, your aura is whole, your grounding is wide and flowing. In the back, your grounding is blocked in the back. So you imagine the grounding is wide as your whole aura, your grounding is wide as your whole aura. Clear out that back. There's just a lot of like a buildup of energy blocks in the back, which therefore makes the back of your aura more stagnant. But your aura is whole, it's just really stagnant and kind of meh, So I would say back of your chakras, back of your grounding, the whole back. You're focused on the back. The back is even more important than the front sometimes. Mostly because people ignore it, so then that's the weakest part. So then if you focus on that, that gives you the biggest results. So I would say that's what your angels like the most for you to work on. Just back of your aura, back of your grounding, back of your grounding first, you know, and get that flowing better, and then back of your aura, and your chakras are not damaged, but they do tend to get pretty blocked in the back, especially like 321. So an easy thing I have is if you search Janet Wright, sticky gold wax. I'll spell it out. Sticky gold wax 7 chakras, but you could just do Janet Wright sticky gold wax and then the number 7, and that'll pull it up. And it's just this little 5-minute video, but it's really effective. So you could do sticky gold wax on the, particularly the back, but do it on all your chakras, front and back. But yeah, so your chakras get blocked, but they're not damaged. Your aura is not damaged. So unblock the back of your grounding, the back of your chakras, and just keep combing through the back of your aura. It should be as wide as the front of your, as big as the front of your aura, but it's like maybe 40% the size. So it should be 100% the size. Once you get that flowing better down there, and then you get your chakras generating more by unblocking them, then you should see it expand a lot more, and then you can just make sure it's flowing properly everywhere. Okay. Someone says, your live streams are easy to find with computer and hard to find on your phone. Interesting. How did my dad's healing go? Oh, and thank you for mentioning your dad and your survey. That was helpful. That was interesting to look at him. So that was good. But yeah, mention everybody that you've paid for in the healing. Just, I mean, don't like blob all their names together, but just say brother, blah, blah, blah. Mother, blah, 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 you know, it would be good just as a little aid for me in your survey. But I mean, I have the list, but I don't really like focusing on the list when I'm looking at the surveys. I like just getting in the zone with all the surveys. So whatever. But anyway, your dad, I did notice him at the healing. Like even that crust, he didn't have as big of a crust on Friday, which is why the healing really helped him. But he still had some, so it was nice to melt, and the brain stuff helped. The facade stuff, I mean, it helped, but he's not super inauthentic, so you know that wasn't the biggest part of Friday. I think the creative ring stuff helped him the most on Friday, and I mean, he needed aura repair too, so that helped a lot, of course, on Friday. But I mean, he's I think he's doing really well, and you said he's doing well, so I'm happy about that. That's cute. Your mom, I was looking at her, so please mention, you know, everybody on your survey if you could. But she the releasing guilt, shame, and embarrassment seemed to be the biggest, I think, part of the healing for her. I mean, it all helped, like the good karma repair stuff in the back helped her too. But your mom is still like, she's still working on like pepping things up, you know, like on a spirit level. But she seems to be healing a lot right now. So I would think she feels pretty peaceful right now. That was nice working with them. Thanks for paying for them to get a healing. It's nice to work with them. So this is, thank you, Janet. My kids love working with you. Oh, that's cute. I love working with them and reading survey information about them. Whenever they see someone angry, their default is, oh, she needs to watch Janet's videos. That's the cutest thing ever. See? But isn't that wonderful? Now they know, like, if they see an angry person, they just understand that that person's imbalanced, and they're not, you know, judging. They're just like, oh, well, if they meditated, which is true. Oh, how wonderful that they learn that during formative years of their life, you know? It's great. Fun, fun, fun. Someone says, since you have time for a quick question, any advice, any angel advice on supporting my mom, brother, and his wife? You know, all three of those people are working with their angels in their sleep. I mean, could be more, but they are all working with their angels in their sleep every night. Uh, but there is a video that I have, because if they weren't working with their angels, then I would say do the steps that are in the Janet Wright Resolve Conflict and Boundary Issues videos, because that's like more fundamental, like helping people to work with their angels in their sleep, you know, which is really important. But there's another video that I have, and you'll find it if you search Janet Wright, flower healing for others, would pull it up. Because that one, you use flowers with angel help and everything, healing flowers for other people, and you know, it's all respectful. I described in the video how to do it, but to help them with their inner emptiness. And I think that's nice. It's very heart nourishing, and I think all three of them could use that. I mean, I think we all could, because of the pandemic and the elections and all sorts of dramas. You know, sometimes it can be very disheartening. So yeah, I think that would be really beautiful if you wanted to do that for them, maybe like twice a week for like 2 weeks. That'd be really nice. So it's just a video, it walks you through it, but yeah, flower healing, Janet Wright. If you search Janet Wright flower healing for others, you'll find it. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, someone says, I was surprised to hear I have a dark crustiness on my aura. Believe it or not, I felt I was so sparkly and clean. I've been clearing it regularly for weeks. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that you don't have a lot of sparkliness on your aura. It's just that if you view it when it's, you know, view it from afar, then you can notice a crust on the outside of it that maybe you didn't see before. You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, I work my aura too. It doesn't mean I don't have places that I could work on. You know, try not to take it as a negative, that it's not meant to invalidate the work that you're doing. It's just something that could help you. Someone says, perfect, the sticky gold wax. This fabulous. Great to have your feedback. I feel better already. Such a treat. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I do 2 Q&As a month these days. No promises that I'll do it forever, but I do 2 Q&As every month, so you could, you know, post a question in any of those Q&As. Sometimes it's all pre-prepared questions that are pre-submitted on the healing survey that I send out to the people that paid me for the recent healing. So if it's those, then maybe I wouldn't be able to get to all the live questions, but otherwise, probably at least half of them are just pure live questions like this. So the next Q&A I do, the Sunday healings all have a Q&A. So if you look on my website on the payment page where all the healings through March are listed, all the ones that are for Sunday, that's when the Q&A. It'll be a Q&A 2 hours after that healing. So the next one is the 3rd Sunday of this month. So that's October 18th will be the next Q&A. If you want, you're welcome to post a question. Also, you're welcome to post a question anytime under any video. And, you know, it takes me a week or 2 maybe to get to it, but I generally am able to get to it and post something under the video. Someone says, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, great, thanks. All right, well, good, you guys. This was super fun. I'm going to peek at how many people are watching. Yeah, okay, good to know. Please give it a thumbs up if you could. That is helpful to help people later find the video. And sometimes, you know, this might be something that I would do if I were my client. Like, I remember the best question ever, like right afterwards. So if that happens to you, you can always post another question as a comment under the video. That's fine, and you know, I'll get to it within a week or 2. So this is there any healings I can do to find a good transition for my business? I need to sell it, transfer to somewhere. Any blessings, groundings I can do? For some reason, Archangel Ariel is the one that kind of steps forward and is like, I'll help her. So be specific, say Archangel Ariel, you know, when you ask for the healing, but she can heal you. She can heal the equipment related to your work. She can, you know, help you to shift your energy and transition, and help you to, you know, work your abundance as far as that sale. So Archangel Ariel. I'm not one to like look up on a piece of paper and say, oh, this angel is for this or this angel is for this. I think if you just, you know, you could just ask archangels, like, which one of you would help? Or ask your own, and usually your own angels are fine, but for some reason, Archangel Ariel specifically steps forward with that. So there you go. All right, guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much for all the very varied and interesting questions. And this will make a nice video later to listen to. Sometimes, you know, if I'm not in the mood to meditate, but I want to, you know, sort of think of energy and clear some stuff, I'll listen to the Q&A, one of the Q&A videos, just to kind of get my mind going, thinking about energy. All right, cool. You're awesome. Thank you so much. The next live stream healing I'm going to do is in 2 days on Sunday. And it will again be on the theme, Identity and Life, Heal and Purify, Be More You. Identity and Life Realignment. Okay.